You first. This is KIMT Storm Team 3. Weather coverage you can count on.
Welcome back, my friends, and happy Friday. A nice Friday in places like Austin where the sun is shining bright. There's, of course, evidence of clouds, but there are plenty of places getting a little bit more of that sunshine versus the clouds, but there are also plenty of places they're dealing with a little more cloud cover. That's generally how our Friday will go. One big difference is the temperatures. You'll notice if you're stepping out the door that it's actually quite comfortable to be out and about compared to these last several days where temperatures have stayed below the average. Today is going to be a little different. In fact, we are almost at the 50-degree mark in places like Mason City, New Hampton, Charles City, Forest City, Northwood, even Albert Lee sitting at 45 alongside Owatonna. I'd say that's getting pretty close. It feels good, I must admit. 42 in Rochester, a little cooler in Dodge Center right now, sitting at 39. Give it a few hours and we're going to continue to see those temperatures just tick upwards. As mentioned, getting above average, which means we are back into the 50s, despite clouds continuing to move on in from the west. Tonight, you'll probably notice a chance for rain starts to come our way. Yes, we've been tracking that for quite a bit. Is it a high chance for rain? Not necessarily, but it is worth noting. We'll talk about it here in just a moment. Satellite and radar here picking up on the cloud cover I mentioned. Again, plenty of sunshine still coming through. The clouds that we're seeing here on the thinner side, where we start to see more of that white color move in, that's indicating some thicker clouds. And they're not too far away from us, continuing to pour on in from the west, where we're seeing a little activity. Most of it further to the north, further to the south, but definitely making its way toward us. Rain will be possible tonight, as we saw when it came to the hours by hour. Sky Tracker 3 is going to literally show us that rain. So let's push time forward, allow the clouds to move in as we get into tonight. This is around 10 p.m., so plenty of us probably still out and about. It is a Friday night after all. Not a bad idea that if you have plans to actually be outside physically, to have an umbrella handy. Very isolated activity at this point in time. Some of it could be over us, some of it a little further to the west, east, south, north. As we head into the overnight, most of us home by this point, we could see some of this rain come our way. But as of right now, the majority of it is aiming east of the Mississippi, and that's where it continues to move as we get into our Saturday morning around 6 a.m. And as many of us are beginning to wake up, and things continue to make their way out. It is going to be a bit of a cloudy Saturday, and notably a cooler one. Not by much though. Temperatures are going to be falling back into the upper 40s for Saturday, as well as what's looking to be a cloudy Easter. That's not bad though. 49 degrees, that's still right about where we should be. In fact, maybe a little above average for some of us. However, the chance for rain rolls right back in as we get into the evening hours. That's the only thing that could be impacted when it comes to any outdoor plans. If you've got any for Easter Sunday, the majority of this particular system, it's going to hold off until we get into our Monday. After that, some temperatures cool back down. Tuesday brings us a chance for a bit of a wintry mixture. So a little bit of a roller coaster here, Annalise, on the 7-day forecast until we get into later next week when temperatures start to steady out in the 50s and ultimately get into the 60s as we carry on.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's going to feel more spring-like.
All right, thank you, Sarah.